Well, today we're doing another test because you guys requested it, and we're doing the Comica versus the Rode Wireless Go. These are both two budgetary lav systems, wireless lav systems. We're gonna put them head to head today and just see which one is more reliable, which one sounds better. Let's let you guys be the judge, but let's not waste any more time and get straight into the video. Well, what's up guys? If you're new here, my name is Paul and I run a channel that inspires other creators that your future is whatever you make it. I do that through gear reviews and tutorials, and today we're putting the Comica system head to head with the Rode. And right now I am currently on the Comica BoomX-U with the included Comica Lav microphone. This system is $50 more than the Rode system, but it does have a lot of extra features, not only an extra receiver and microphone, but it also includes lavs, little adapters to go to XLR, just a lot of extra bonuses, and it also has a headphone jack. All that stuff means really nothing if the sound quality isn't there and it's not reliable. So today we're going to be doing a lot of tests comparing the two, both in distance, and while you're listening to that you can hear how the audio sounds. With both these tests I am doing the lav that comes with the Comica with the Comica and the Rode together, so you can really compare apples to apples. And I think it will probably surprise you, not to give anything else away. But let's get into the outdoor and indoor tests. Now, the first test we are going to always start with is the built-in microphone. And obviously right now I'm wearing the Comica, and I made sure that I did do an auto scan before starting this recording to give this system a fair shot, because once again in my previous video, if you haven't seen that one, you can check it out. I noted that you have to sync these before to get the best signal and range. I'm walking back around, testing 1, 2. I'm gonna turn around, test 1, 2. No, note for both of these, I will have it clipped on the side of my jacket just to make it fair, and you can clearly see which one I'm wearing. Test 1, 2, 2. I don't know how far the distance is of my backyard here, but this isn't going to be mainly a big, huge distance test. We'll just be able to see which one cuts out first, whether or not, who cares what the distance is. Maybe I'll measure this after the fact, but I just want to test the system here. Test 1, 2, see which one works better outside of the line of sight, mainly when I turn around from over here. I don't think anybody's going to be walking this far away from their camera system, but in the instance that they do, this is that test right here. Test 1, 2, did you get any dropouts here? This is about as far as I'm going to go here in this test today, pretty much to the outside of my house, just to see what that looks like. Test 1, 2. All right, and this will be a test of the lavalier that comes with the Comica system, and I'm going to test both the Rode and the Comica with the same lav mic, just to make sure that you can compare these two for apples to apples, especially since the Rode is already coming in behind because it doesn't come with its own lav. You have to buy that separately. So we're just going to use the same lav just to test it so you guys can get a better idea of what it sounds like. Once again, Comica will be in the same spot the Rode is. I'm having it, just clipping it to the side of my pocket, so it still kind of has somewhat of a visual line of sight when I turn around. Mainly doing that for the Rode Wireless Go's sake, but we'll just keep doing this test. 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, same setting, test 1, 2, test 1, 2, test, test, test. Testing this microphone. This is a lav set. Now that's the other nice thing about this is it does come with a lot of accessories like this lav. It comes with an XLR. It comes with plenty of stuff to get you going with, especially with this 2-system set. You get 2 microphones for essentially $50 more than the Rode Wireless Go. So there is a lot of value in this system. The question is, will it sound as good? Will it hold up as far as distance? All right, in this one we are going at the Rode with a built-in microphone. Also has this wind muff on it, and I try to get this volume as close as possible, but I will try to get it closer in post. That's the only thing I'll adjust is volume, but for the most part, based on the back of the camera, looks like they're about the same volume. So we're going to do this once again. Rode Wireless Go. Now the nice thing about the Rode Wireless Go is the size. Not only do I suggest it because it's been more reliable, but also these things are tiny. And yeah, you can only do one channel, but the reliability and the size of these things just makes it so much easier. And I think the built-in microphone actually does sound really good for what it is. And that's why I've been suggesting this. I've been only using this for the most part with Talent in the built-in microphone. I can just clip it to the inside of their jacket. These things are not that big, as where the Comica is actually a lot bigger, so it's a little bit harder to hide. So if you're wanting to use the built-in microphone and the microphone not be too visible or whatever, you probably are going to want to go with something more like the Rode Wireless Go. But you do have a lot of flexibility with that Comica. So this is about as far as I'm going to go with this test. We'll see how bad it drops out. I'm going to be walking back. Now notice, I'm really interested to see here, especially in these distances like this, is when I turn around, does the microphone cut out? Because this typically does need a line of sight to get the best signal range and stuff like that. So, and if it doesn't, then I couldn't see myself ever using, I mean, needing any more distance than that right there. And I'm never going to be this far apart from the microphones. All right, literally nothing has changed. I'm just still using the Rode Wireless Go, but with the lav, put in the same spot as the Comica, right in the front pocket, just so when I turn around, it does have line of sight. And when I kind of turn backwards, you shouldn't really get that much line of sight. So we're going to do that same exact test again. So like I said before, the downside of the system, it does not come with this lav. This is the Comica lav. The Rode does have an external lav, the Lav Go or whatever it is, and it's you know, it is what it is. It's probably, I would say, probably the same equivalence of what these mics come with. The kit comes with right on the box, but alright, so now we're back in this video. This is the Rode Wireless Go with the Comica Lav. It's included with the Comica system. And this just kind of gives you a test of what it could sound like in a little bit more controlled environment. I mean, this is no soundproofing studio or anything like that, but it is fairly quiet, nothing too crazy in here. So this is a test of what it sounds like in there. And I'm also going to go ahead and walk around my house with this system and also compare it then to the Comica just to see when dropouts happen. I know it's going to be hard to tell because you're not going to be able to see me, but I'm definitely going to be out of sight of this system with when I start walking around the house, and I'm going to name off the rooms and I'll be able to see when the cuts off happens. You'll see. So I am getting up right now, walking out the door, and going into my family room here. This is the Rode Wireless Go test family room right kind of in front of the kitchen. Now I'm in front of the garage. Now I'm walking into the living room, and I'm sure this is probably where you're going to get some cutouts if it even made it this far, because the system does cut out quite frequently. It is definitely out of sight on my side. Test 1, 2, dining room area now. And I'll even go back to my master bedroom here just to do a full-on test. I'm positive that the Rode Wireless Go will probably not be able to make it this far without cutouts, but if it does, I'd be in shock. I'm definitely a few rooms away. Now I'm coming back, and I'm walking in the direction, so maybe a little bit more line of sight. All right, this is a studio test with the Comica system and the Lav, and I have it clipped on here. And we're just going to do the same exact thing I did with the Rode and walk around this house a little bit just to see the range, to see if it's better than a digital system. My tests, it has been, and I also synced the channel up again when I got back into the house just to double check. So I'm going to go ahead and walk the house. All right, so here we go. We're going into my family room. I'm in the family room right now. I'm walking towards my garage. I'm right outside the garage door now, and I'm going to be walking into my living room. I am now in the living room, front of the TV. Right now I'm going to be right in front of my dining room table, so right outside the master bedroom, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed to walk into the master bedroom. And I don't think I did this before, but you know what? I'm just going to close the master bedroom door, and now I'll go ahead and walk into the master bathroom. All right, so now I'm in the master bathroom, significantly away and out of line of sight of the system. So both of these systems, if they worked in this far of the house, wow, I think that would be very impressive. Well, I have got to say, on both microphones, I was actually really surprised in certain areas. The Rode went a little bit further than I suspected without major dropouts. There were a few minor dropouts, and especially in areas where I thought it was going to start dropping out, specifically in the indoor test where I'm going to different rooms. Just because I've used this system a lot with realtors, and I kind of know what to expect out of this set, so it didn't really shock me necessarily that it dropped out, but I was very shocked when it dropped out, or how much I should say, because it dropped out once when I expected it, but it was only that one minor time, and as you went further, I think it only dropped out like 2 more times. I was expecting it to drop out like on and off constantly when I got really far away from this room, but it actually held up pretty well. And once again, it's in the 2.4 gigahertz range, the Wi-Fi, so it really depends on what kind of cell phones you have in the area and all that stuff. And I just typically try to stay safe and really stay within the line of sight, at least within a few rooms, to guarantee that I'm not going to get any dropouts. And when I use this on real estate shoots, I always have headphones on just to monitor my audio, just to make sure that I don't get any unexpected dropouts in areas where I need it. But overall, once again, fantastic system, and there's no reason why I haven't been suggesting this system to people that ask me about a good budgetary lav system. It's great. It's a little bit more pricey when you compare it to now all these other options out there that include so many other things like lav mics and stuff like that. So it is a really hard choice. And does it still stand as number one? Yes and no. I did suggest it to a friend, but it really now boils down to what features do you need out of your setup, because as you heard them, the Comica actually sounded really good. I would say that the built-in microphone on the Rode sounds better, so if you were only going to be using this for the built-in microphone only and not planning to use an external lav, then I would say go with the Rode Wireless Go. I just like the clarity of it. It sounds great. And like I said earlier in the video, it's small, it's easy to hide. Now they have these little magnetic clips for it that you can get. I really like the system. I just wish that you could have 2 of them, kind of like the Comica does, in the same form factor. And honestly, I'm sure that we're going to be seeing something like this from Rode in the future. They kind of gave us a workaround by making you buy 2 systems with this little clip edition, but I think they are going to ultimately cave into the market thanks to these other awesome Chinese manufacturers really challenging them. But at the end of the day, this is still probably going to be their base price for the system, and you kind of get what you pay for in that matter. You're kind of paying for the reliability of the Rode. Now, not to say that these Comicas are not reliable. It actually really shocked me. And once again, this is not a 2.4 gigahertz system. This is a UHF system, so they're supposed to be getting way better distance. And it did drop out. It goes back to like, what do you need as a creator? Do you really need that secondary microphone? Do you want to have that versatility? If you absolutely know for a shadow of a doubt that you're only going to go with one channel, I still probably would choose the Rode. Honestly, this is a really hard choice, and it's almost, you're going for the name brand over these Chinese knockoffs that are getting really good at what they're doing. So I think if you need 2 channels, the Comica system is a fantastic option to go with. With these Comicas, the only way I feel super comfortable with them is if you sync it every single time you get into like a new atmosphere. So for these tests, I synced them right before I got inside my house. I synced them outside when I was outside before I started recording. So I don't know, that's just how I felt comfortable. I mean, I had a few issues when I originally started testing them, just going out. So from now on, my point of thumb with the Comicas is, as long as you sync them before you start shooting, you should have no problems if you're in a different environment. The Rode is nice because you just turn them on, there's no syncing, it just automatically finds the best things. When I tested these, they've both worked pretty much about as well as each other. So once again, it's a really hard choice. I can't really choose which one. Listen to the audio, hear what you think. I mean, they sounded identical when they were on the lav. You couldn't really decipher between the Comica or the Rode when they were both hooked up to the same exact lavalier microphone. And I personally liked the Rode built-in mic a little bit better. And the range, they're both really good. So it's a really hard choice. You're pretty much going for the brand name. I've rambled enough in this video. If you like stuff like this, I do stuff like this regularly, so hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, join the family, and do all the fun YouTube-y things down below, and know that I will see you in the future.